In the shadowed corners of history where power and ambition cast long, unforgiving shadows, lie the stories of women who dared to shine only to be dimmed by betrayal, cruelty, and the weight of tradition. These are not mere tales, but cries unheard, tears unwiped, and spirits unbroken despite their tragic ends. They were queens, warriors, poets, and dreamers, yet history wronged them, reducing their legacies to whispers or lies. From palace halls to battlefields, they fought, loved, and fell. Their lives a testament to resilience in the face of injustice. This is the story of 10 women, each betrayed, each unforgettable, whose tragic endings demand to be remembered. Join us as we unveil their truths, honoring their courage, and reclaiming their voices from history's silent pages. Anne Boleyn. The queen beheaded by her king, Anne Boleyn, was no mere consort, but a woman of wit and fire, refusing to be just a mistress. She rose to become Queen of England, her charm and intellect captivating Henry VIII. Yet, her failure to produce a male heir sealed her doom. Accused of adultery, treason, and witchcraft charges likely fabricated by a king tired of her defiance, she faced the executioner's sword in 1536. On the scaffold, she stood tall, her dark eyes unyielding, her final words a plea for her daughter's future. Was she guilty, or merely a pawn in a king's ruthless game? Her death was not just a tragedy, but a betrayal, her legacy smeared by those who feared her strength. Anne's story reminds us that even queens can fall when power turns fickle, her spirit enduring in the daughter who would become Elizabeth I. Zainab al-Nafsawiyya, the beauty whose power was stolen in the sun-scorched lands of 11th century Maghreb. Zainab al-Nafsawiyya was a force of intellect and beauty, a Berber queen who shaped empires. Married to Yusuf ibn Tashfin, she helped build the Almoravid dynasty, her strategies guiding armies and her wisdom forging alliances. Yet her brilliance drew envy. Men branded her a sorceress, fearful of a woman who outshone them. Used in the power struggles of sultans, she was sidelined, her influence diminished, her fate shrouded in mystery. Did she die in exile, or was she silenced by poison? History offers no answers, only whispers of her legend. Zainab's tragedy lies not in her fall, but in her erasure, her power stolen by those who could not bear a woman's strength. Her story is a call to reclaim the voices of women history forgot. Matilda of Tuscany, the warrior abandoned by faith. Matilda of Tuscany, a 12th century noblewoman, was a warrior in a man's world, her castles a bulwark for the papacy. She led armies, defended the church against emperors, and wielded power rivaling kings. Yet, when the battles ended, those she fought for turned away. The church, grateful but patriarchal, offered no lasting honor. Her allies, once loyal, drifted to new causes. Left alone in her fortress, Matilda's strength became her solitude, her life ebbing in a quiet death in 1115, unmarked by the glory she deserved. Her tragedy was not defeat, but abandonment, her sacrifices buried under the weight of a world unready for a woman's might. Matilda's story echoes as a reminder that even the fiercest warriors can be forsaken, their legacy a quiet fire waiting to be rekindled. Empress Sissi, beauty that could not escape Tsar Elizabeth of Austria. Known as Sissi, was Europe's icon of beauty, her image immortalized in portraits, her waist cinched to impossible perfection. Yet, behind her radiant smile lay a heart heavy with grief. Trapped in the rigid Habsburg court, she lost her daughter to illness and her son to suicide, her spirit crumbling under the weight of loss. Her beauty, a public obsession, became her prison, her life a cycle of isolation and depression. In 1898, an anarchist's blade ended her life in Geneva, a final act of cruelty for a woman who sought only peace. Sissi's tragedy was not just her death, but a life unlived, her beauty unable to shield her from sorrow. Her story urges us to look beyond the surface, to hear the silent cries of those who seem to shine. Taous Amrouche, the poet tortured by hate. Taous Amrouche, a 20th century Algerian Berber poet, was a voice of resistance against colonial oppression. Her songs and writings wove tales of her people's struggle, her intellect a beacon of defiance. Yet her courage made her a target branded a traitor by some. She faced torture and exile, her body and spirit broken by those who feared her voice. Erased from many historical records, her death in 1976 was a quiet tragedy, her contributions buried under colonial narratives. Taous's story is a wound, a reminder of the women whose brilliance was crushed by hate, their legacy stolen by silence. Her life calls us to amplify the voices of those history sought to erase, to honor the poets who sang through pain. Joan of Arc, the heroine burned by her people at 19, Joan of Arc led France to victory, her visions guiding armies against English invaders. A peasant girl turned warrior, she defied every expectation, her courage a blazing light. Yet her own people betrayed her, accused of heresy and witchcraft. She was burned alive in 1431, her cries swallowed by flames. Only later did France declare her innocent, a saint too late to save. Joan's tragedy was not just her death, but the betrayal of those she fought for, her faith turned to ashes. Her story is a clarion call to honor those who lead with conviction, to protect the visionaries before they are consumed by fear and fire. Princess Diana, the heartbroken in a cold palace, Diana, Princess of Wales, was the world's beloved icon, her warmth a contrast to the cold formality of Buckingham Palace. She loved fiercely, championed the vulnerable, and lived authentically in a world of protocol. Yet betrayal shadowed her husband's infidelity, the media's relentless pursuit, and a royal family that demanded duty over heart. Her death in a 1997 Paris car crash, shrouded in mystery, left the world in mourning, her grave adorned with undying roses. Diana's tragedy was not just her end, but a life of love unreturned, her kindness a light in a palace that dimmed it. Her story reminds us that even the most adored can be broken, their hearts yearning for freedom. Princess Camarilla, the beauty locked away in a forgotten Eastern kingdom. Princess Camarilla was a vision of beauty, her grace the envy of courts. Promised to a man she loved, her fate turned when a sultan coveted her. Stolen from her betrothed, she was imprisoned in a windowless palace, her days spent in silence, her heart heavy with grief. Her death, unrecorded, was a quiet tragedy, her name lost to history, but immortalized in poets' laments. Camarilla's story is a shadow, a reminder of the women whose beauty became their cage, their lives erased by the greed of power. Her tale calls us to seek the stories hidden in history's margins, to honor those who faded without a trace. Lucretia Borgia, the woman slandered by lies. Lucretia Borgia, a Renaissance noblewoman, was painted as a villain, poisoner, seductress, sinner. Yet the truth was darker. She was a pawn in her family's schemes, forced into marriages to secure power, her body a bridge for alliances. Betrayed by those she trusted, her name was smeared by rivals' lies, her kindness buried under myth. Her death in 1519 after childbirth was a quiet end to a life of manipulation. Lucretia's tragedy was not her deeds, but the falsehoods that defined her truth lost to men's ambitions. Her story urges us to question the narratives history weaves, to seek the women beneath the slander. The unknown woman, the silent sufferer, she has no name, no crown, no page in history's book. She was an ordinary woman, a mother, a lover, who faced violence, betrayal, or loss, her life ending in silent tragedy. Millions like her lived and died, their stories unrecorded, their pain unseen. They were beaten, silenced, or forgotten, wronged simply for being women. Her anonymity is her power, representing every woman whose voice was stolen. Her story is a call to remember the countless, to honor the invisible whose lives shaped the world in quiet ways. For every woman whose story was buried, another rises today, her voice a rebellion against silence. These 10 women, Anne, Zainab, Matilda, Sissi, Takos, Joan, Diana, Camaria, Lucretia, and the unknown whisper to us across time. Their tragedy is a testament to their strength. They were wronged by history, their endings steeped in sorrow, yet their spirits endure, urging every woman to claim her narrative. On our channel, we weave their stories into the present, honoring their pain and celebrating their fire. Subscribe now, watch the full video, and uncover the truths history hid. Share their legacies, for every woman's story is a flame that must burn on, a call to every heart to write its own ending, bold and unbroken.